Alright guys, well things just got interesting. I started smelling fuel. We're in the middle of nowhere, Nevada right now. That right there's diesel. From me. I don't have anything to solve this. Ah, shit. It's hot out here. It is very hot out here. In my last video, we flew from Northern California to Billings, Montana to buy a 1999 F-550 four-wheel drive with a 7.3 power stroke and a 6-speed manual. Pretty much a bulletproof, no bullshit type of drivetrain. When you're getting way out into the middle of nowhere and you got your home on the back, that's exactly what you want. And that's exactly why we're using it for our next camper build. Now in that last video, a ton of you guys were saying how sketchy the seller was, and I used to buy and sell cars when I was in high school, so I know how shady the used car market is. But admittedly, I've been out of that game for a long time, and the skills need some brushing up. And on top of that, I was not negotiating from a place of power. I flew out there with no place to stay and expecting to drive that truck back to California. But before flying out there, I was in contact with the actual seller who owned a scrap metal recycling business, and that's what they used it for since 1999. I looked into the guy a bit and the story checked out, so I flew out and met with his son Kevin. However, when I got out there were a few things that were misrepresented, like a 30,000 mile discrepancy on the miles on that truck. This flew red flags, and I ended up doing a pretty thorough inspection of the truck before ultimately buying it for $10,000, or $2,000 less than advertised. And for those of you in the comments who said I'm the worst type of buyer out there, damn straight I am. I checked out just about everything that I reasonably could, and I made a list before I even started talking price. I'm 25 years old, and a $10,000 purchase? That's a big purchase. But there was more to this deal than I initially thought, involving a shady used car dealership in Billings, Montana called GML Financial, even though it was supposed to be a private party sale. And I'll make a video on this once I've dug up all the dirt and can lay the facts on the table. But now my attention was turned to getting this truck back to California. The thing I didn't know was, this truck had been sitting for the last 7 years. Alright, well I officially have a problem. I'm driving another 1999 7.3 Power Stroke with the 6-speed manual and 4-wheel drive. I now have an F-350, 450, and 550. So one of the things that's wrong with this truck is that the speedometer doesn't work. The guy that I was talking to was the owner's son. Now, he told me that they took it to a shop and the mechanic just immediately said it was a speed sensor. Now, I don't know if you guys can see what's going on here, but the odometer is still working. So it's not a speed sensor, it's something to do with the cluster itself, most likely. Every 25-year-old truck has its little gremlins, there's little things. This one was pretty clean overall. You know, the frame didn't have any paint on it anymore. I'll deal with that. That's not a real issue to me. Frame was clean too. It wasn't like real pitted rust or anything, but the paint's gone. It has a brand new windshield. It has a brand new ZF6 transmission in it. By the looks of it, that transmission, I didn't see a date on it, but I would bet that transmission is probably less than 20,000 miles on it. It's pretty rare for a ZF6 to go out that soon, but like I said, company truck, someone probably just did not drive that well. But what it means for me is that we have a brand new transmission, brand new clutch, we have brand new slave cylinder, we have brand new cooling lines. Like that right there makes it worth it just in and of itself. Now the biggest thing is I just need to get this truck back to California. And there's two things that scare me. The tires on this thing, they're older, they're a little dry rotted, so you know, I think they'll make it back to California, but tires are definitely older. And the other thing that scares me, which I'm gonna take care of, I'm gonna stop on an auto parts store and just get it taken care of, is that the belt generally looks good, but there is a little cracking on the underside of it, and I'd hate to have a belt go in, you know, a remote area. So we'll get that taken care of. And real quick guys, Expedition Ranch is giving away this 4-wheel drive 7.3 Power Stroke camper to one of you guys. Yeah, you heard that right, one of you guys is going to be driving off in this rig, and you can win it with just grabbing a simple t-shirt off our website, expeditionranch.com. There's not too many t-shirts out there that'll get you entered to win an awesome camper like this one. This truck has a full camper conversion with 46 gallons of fresh water, a full solar setup, and everything else you need for full-time adventure. You can find the spec sheet over at expeditionranch.com. It only has 120,000 miles on the 7.3 and 3,000 miles on a freshwater 100, so it's ready to go. But this camper isn't the only thing that you can win. There's 11 bonus prizes throughout the giveaway, everything from Jackery solar generators, 12-volt fridges, a Starlink setup, and more. Our last winner was Brooke Humphrey, based in Tacoma, Washington, on July 4th, and she'll be getting her Iceco VL75 Pro 12-volt fridge shipped out on Monday the 8th. The goal of this whole thing is to film really cool off-road camper builds, give them away to you guys, and donate 10% to the protection of our trails and dispersed campsites. And this crazy idea isn't possible without you. So get yourself entered by heading over to expeditionranch.com. Alright, I'm with my buddy Jake that I haven't seen in what, 7 years?
7 years.
7 years out here in Bozeman, so he let me crash in his extra room last night so I didn't have to sleep in the truck. Dude.
No, anytime, dude.
Yeah.
You're always welcome.
I'm about to head back into Bozeman. I just found out that the oil on that thing is, so the oil on the truck right now has 200 miles, but it's 7 years old. So before I drive across the country.
It's new, unused, old oil.
Yeah, the oil's broken down. It's been through 6 or 7 Montana winters, and yeah, so I need to get back to Bozeman. I'm gonna meet up with a friend down there who's he actually bought an old truck of mine, and now I finally get to see it and change the oil at his place. So last time that I saw Jake, you were what, 18 or 17?
Yeah, I was 18, just graduating high school.
Yeah, we both worked at this lumber company called Kenyon Noble, and there's the 550. Anyway, he went to the National Guard, and then now he started his own, it's a spa service business.
Yeah.
Alpenglow?
Yep, Alpenglow. So we repair and service hot tubs. Just the pool boy of the mountains.
It's honestly really cool to see you doing that, dude. That like
Thank
you
you.
got into that and like started your own business, and he's doing well with it. I mean, how old are you now? You're
24.
Yeah, 24 years old. He's doing good. You're doing what? A couple hundred hot tubs a month?
Yeah, a few hundred hot tubs, and it's taken off more than I ever expected, and
Yeah,
it's scary and fun at the same time.
really cool to see like other younger guys like, you know, pursuing businesses and stuff. Like it's the time to do it and take some risks. So if you guys are in Big Sky, which I know many of you aren't, but Big Sky, and I mean you'll probably be in Bozeman here pretty soon.
We do a little bit of work in Bozeman,
Yeah.
and yeah.
No, I can tell this guy does good stuff. I've known him for a long time, so you got to check out Alpenglow, right? That's Alpenglow?
Alpenglow Spa Service.
All right, I got to get back to Bozeman.
All right.
I'll see you later, brother.
Yeah, take care, James. Safe travels, man.
All right. So what I was seeing while I was driving is right there. It says the last time that the oil was changed. And it was changed at 177,920, and we're at 178,474. And a decent amount of those miles I put on it. So this oil is really old. This truck obviously hasn't been driven in a long time. So need to put some new oil in it. You know, oil breaks down over time, even though it has really low miles. I don't want to drive it all the way to California with oil that's been broken down. And I might want to do the same thing with the transmission too. So yeah, that's what we got to do today. Right now, I'm gonna go into Bozeman. There's a truck that I had when I was in Bozeman that I was gonna build. It was a 1988 Jeep Comanche. And I tore everything out of it. We're gonna put a 5.3 LS in it. And this is like back when I was probably 18, 19 at the time when I was gonna take on this project. And then I had to move and I just wasn't able to take it on. So I ended up selling it. I gave him a pretty good deal on it that I know he was very stoked on. So we're gonna go to his shop and we're gonna be changing the oil there. All right, we just picked up all of our fluids. Now it's time to get this truck washed before I actually get in there and start changing fluid. So I think I'm gonna need to put on my board shorts and get on underneath of here, because there is a ton of mud up in here. Time to get wet. This is gonna be really shitty. I'm gonna take one from D-Boss Garage. You aren't rich if you aren't filthy. I have mud up my ass. Okay, that was terrible. I don't have a towel either. There's so much mud on this truck. Really wish the guy cleaned it before I bought it, but he didn't. And there was about an inch of mud on the entire underside. I had to chip away at it to see if there was any rust. But that thing's clean under there. You just throw a strap right there and she kind of backs it up.
Yeah, I think so.
As soon as I got here, these guys were pulling out ZF6 transmissions out of a donor truck F-550 to do a swap. And I never met these guys, but I already liked them. The only reason I knew any of them was because of this guy Marshall, who bought my '88 Jeep Comanche a few years back, which I'll show you in a second. But this was like Super Duty heaven, and there's one project here that really got my attention. So this right here, I don't know if it's a, I think he said it's a 350, but yeah. It's a 2004, so this originally had the 6-liter, and then in 2005 they switched over to the coil springs, so this is still like the early style front suspension. But what's really cool about this truck is the engine and what they did here, because this is the ZF6 transmission, great transmission, and then they put a 24 valve Cummins in front of it in a Ford, which is like it's like the perfect.
They call it the Fummins.
The Fummins, exactly.
Fummins. And
that's kind of interesting. Got 2 engine mounts.
Yeah, I mean these things
they vibrate.
They say like Dodge makes it, Cummins shakes it. These things are they're rowdy. I know that he's got a compound turbo kit for it.
Okay.
This is P-pump, so this is all mechanical fuel injection here.
Yeah, so the 24 valve originally had, I think it's a CP3 pump that they had on these.
Yeah.
And then everyone wants the P-pump because they're really reliable, but you can crank a ton of power out of them.
You can throw hella fuel.
Like a ton. They're like infinitely like adjustable. So this is really cool because this never came with the truck. This came on the 12 valve Cummins. I think in the early 90s is when they had the P-pump.
There's like some of the, I think it was a lot of like the generators. My roommate Gavin, he's got a 12 valve Cummins in his little it's like his 92 Dodge, and it's a stock pump, so it doesn't have the P-pump on it.
Okay.
He wants to get a P-pump. I'm not sure where you get them, but
no, I mean this is really cool. And what's
Jack's thing, so
yeah, no, I gotcha. Well, I've researched these projects a lot, because what I wanted to do is take a 2005 to like 2007 before they came out the 6.4 the 6.4 Power Stroke. Stick a 12 valve in that with the ZF6, take the body off and put a 1967 cab on it, and then put an ambulance box on it, make it just like the holy grail of like drivetrain and weight capacity and everything else. But they're gonna put an OBS body on this, so that's really cool. And They were just showing me earlier they cut the frame right here. They added in this plate and this plate, and then fully welded it on the inside. This is the drivetrain that everyone wants.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days I'll build the 67. That'd be a really cool giveaway rig if we ever get to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing that I had to figure out was the emissions side of it, though, because you have to figure out if you title it as a 67 or as a or as a 2006.
Yeah.
So you run into smog issues if you run it with the 2006,
Right.
and then you run into weight issues if you run it as a 67, because it would be, if I built a camper off of it, probably be 12,000 pounds on the low side.
Yeah.
So, and the original, those F-350s are rated at like a lot less.
Yeah.
So
sure.
it's kind of a catch-22 on that one. Don't know the answer, and that's why I ended up deciding to hold off on that build.
Yeah.
That's not good. So that is supposed to be red. That is very, very dark.
Cranking something down, you have to take a couple turns, right? Every time you go and then you'll stop and save that last one, and you go back and do it again.
This is a lot easier than the little squeeze pump. Yeah. I've heard really good things about those and really bad things.
Well, there's like 3 different genders. There's spark plug, yeah, and then they fix that and like the big deal. And like fluid coil.
I might need a second pan ready to go. I'm just gonna like swap pans if it starts to overflow. This is looking kind of black too, so damn.
Is that transfer fluid?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's dark. Look at that. That's supposed to be red ATF.
Yeah, I mean, but it's gonna get like dirty.
Well,
it's gonna get,
I don't know how many miles are on this rebuild,
yeah.
but like the lines and stuff look really good, and I know that it sat for at least 7 years. So like I wonder if it gets darker just from sitting.
PTO?
It's got a PTO port, but it's not a PTO.
Okay, cool. That's pretty slick. I don't know yet. Pretty much perfect.
Hey, for this truck, what do you think a fair price would be to pick it up?
The whole truck?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. 18,000?
18? At 100, it has 178.
It's like
I got it for 10.
Really?
Yeah.
it's like
Really good
pretty
deal.
much.
I mean, I flew all the way out here to come pick it up.
Yeah, no, that's
Slouching
awesome.
a little bit.
Because it took me a while to find a truck at this price range, and I got my 450 with the same mileage I bought it for 14 and had a electrical over hydraulic crane on the back.
Yeah.
Sold that for 4, sold the flatbed for 1,000, and ended up at another 10K truck.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I ran a poll on Instagram, like asking people like how much like they thought I bought the truck for, or what a reasonable price was. Dude, most of the answers were like 5K.
Good.
Yeah, I mean people just like don't know.
I feel like I can see that.
A lot of people that don't know the trucks. And it's time. Alright, we're about to take out engine oil that's been in this engine for 7 years, and it only has 200 miles. Let's see what it looks like. Honestly, it looks like just normal engine oil. Black as can be from being a diesel. Dude, you should.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny that when I showed up here, the first thing they were doing was pulling a ZF6 and pulling a 4R100. They're doing a ZF6 swap in what used to be an automatic. You know what? I just realized something. I wonder if because he said this is his first ZF6 swap, right?
Yeah.
Apparently the cab's different. The hump up here is a lot taller.
Oh, the cab for the ZF6.
The cab is actually different on the ZF6. I've never done it, but I've heard that. So this is supposed to be taller right here.
Oh,
I mean, they're cutting a hole in for the shifter anyways, so.
Okay.
A little bit bigger than.
Well, he has the cab for the other one. So what I've heard people do is they just cut it and then they weld in.
They weld in the new.
They weld in the new hump.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But there's the back of a 7.3 with the clutch. So hopefully I don't have to see the back end of that for a while. Although, honestly, it'd be nice to put a South Bend clutch in there. Like have a nice heavy duty clutch.
Yeah, if that one's gives you more problems, you can't figure out what it is.
Yeah, something's off with it.
Down the road, looking to do that or something.
And the 99's apparently the fork right here, that guy. They apparently are a lot thinner on the 99 trucks, so they'll bend and then they'll engage. I'm not saying that's happened to mine, but
Right.
you know, it's just like it's a thing. I could replace it with the whole kit from South Bend. Either way, I just walked into some really cool projects. Guys, it was great meeting you. I'll catch y'all later. All right, we're about halfway through our trip right now, and I've been really impressed with the mileage this thing has been getting. So we have 174 miles on the trip odometer, and we just took 8.7 gallons. So let's run the math on that real quick. 20 miles a gallon. That's the best I've ever gotten. So that was running at 2100 RPM, 2100, 2150, somewhere in there. And we're probably doing about 55 miles an hour. You know, this thing has really low gears. So, you know, the best fuel economy is going to be at like 1800 RPM. So I'm pretty impressed. All right, guys, well, things just got interesting. I started smelling fuel. We're in the middle of nowhere, Nevada right now. I'll show you. I already got out of the truck. That right there's diesel from me. And we are really out here in the middle of nowhere right now. And I do not have tools. So we're gonna have to see what we can do here. I'm gonna take a guess and say that something happened with the fuel bowl, which we just replaced. Oh my gosh, we got fuel everywhere. I can't tell where it's coming from though. And we got fuel on the sides here, on the frame rails. It's on the whole front of the motor. It's on the fan. I don't know if you can see it there on the fan. Yeah, this thing just started dumping fuel. I don't have anything to solve this. I guess the one thing I can do right now is I can go ahead and turn the motor back on and see where it's dumping fuel from. At least that'll let me know what it is. And hopefully I can potentially flag someone down and get this thing fixed, but I'm not too confident in that. Ah, shit. And it's hot out here. It is very hot out here. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn the truck on and we're gonna see if we can pinpoint where that leak is coming from. Might not even need to turn it on. Might just need to pressurize the fuel bowl. Oh, yep, I hear it. It's spraying. There it is. Okay. Okay. Shit. All right, so I'm gonna need to flag someone down because I don't have tools. If I can get someone flagged down, then I can get this cover off the top and see what I can do, because it is gushing out of there and it's coming out of the top of the fuel bowl. We got so much diesel in the valley. You guys see all the diesel down there? Okay, I looked at this a little closer and I think I figured out what's wrong with it. And I can solve it. But I need a 1-inch socket and a ratchet. That's all that I need. So, let's see if I can get in here for you guys. So see that right there? It's leaking from right underneath there. This is the gasket that goes onto the fuel filter. Now, I just replaced this fuel filter, so maybe I did something wrong when I installed it. But what it looks like happened here is that it pushed the gasket out. And that's why it's leaking right here. So if I'm able to take this cap off with a 1-inch socket and these two caps right here, so I can get this stupid plastic piece out of the way, I think we'll be in business. But I am literally in the middle of nowhere in Nevada. I need to get a 1-inch socket. I think I'm gonna have to do some of this on the side of the road. I filmed this part after the whole adventure was over. I figured I wasn't gonna push my luck trying to film and get myself a ride at the same time. I got picked up by 2 men on a gambling run to Jackpot, Nevada. And while they picked me up, I could tell they didn't want to drive to Jackpot and drive me all the way back. So they ended up dropping me off at a gravel mine on the side of the road. All right, so those guys right there just drove me over here. I think that we'll be able to get some tools together. All right, now I'm out of mine. This guy, Andy over here, he's gonna help me out with that fuel filter. But what is this machine here? Is this a...
This is a rock crusher.
Rock crusher?
Yeah, we're turning 1/2 inch. We're trying to take basic like 12-inch rocks and break them down to 1/2 inch.
Okay.
So we can spread them on the road so people have a nice smooth surface, you know?
I've never been around equipment like this. You said an hour of your time and an hour of mine, right? You had a project to put me to work on?
Yeah, we need to slide this. See this? This is a brand new wheel.
Uh-huh.
A brand new belt we just bought.
Okay.
This belt's 125 feet long.
Okay.
And the old belt wiped out the old drive motor.
Okay.
Wheel. So this wheel, see how it has like a pattern under there, like a tractor?
Yeah.
That's for traction, because that's what turns all the...
Is it worn out?
Well, it's slid over. You see this right here? See the keyway?
Yep.
We have to slide this back over.
Okay.
Because on the other side, it's hitting the gearbox and it's going to wipe it out. So.
Well, I don't know how to work on anything like this, but I mean...
We're going to figure it out together.
All right, sounds good.
See how this is hitting there?
Oh, you just got to get it slid over.
Yeah, see the grease down there?
Yep.
It's heating this thing up too hot, so...
And this thing is, I'm guessing it has a lot of tension on it, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we got tensioners. See this right here? This is a tensioner. We'll take this, I'll hand you a wrench.
Okay.
And we'll turn this right here until this backs off. And then we'll turn, there's some bolts under here. There's bolts under here. We're gonna have to, see how it came all the way tight?
Yeah.
We gotta slide that all the way over. See how it's rubbing right there?
Yeah.
And it's peeling the rubber. It's breaking the rubber. See that?
Yep, I do.
It's getting hot. So
okay.
we need to basically drive this back over that way and then retighten it. And then we're good to go.
Sweet.
It shouldn't take us too long. And that.
So there I was working on equipment I'd never seen before in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, with men I'd just met. I had no service, nobody knew where I was, and I couldn't help but think, how in the hell did I end up here? My girlfriend certainly won't approve of this, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you're in a pinch. And to be honest, I was having a blast, but I kept thinking, what type of operation is this? To take a hitchhiking kid broken down off the highway, hand them a wrench and say get to work? I mean, they didn't know my experience. I could have been dumber than a doornail when it came to working on stuff. And now I was crawling all up on equipment and getting myself into tight spots trying to put 2 and 2 together on how to fix this drive motor. And from my past experience running a commercial cleaning company, all I could think about was the liability if I got hurt. No company I could think of would risk that type of liability. But this was just a locally owned operation with a bunch of hardcore blue-collar guys, and I loved it. I'm filming all this because I got a YouTube channel. It's like that's part of the Expedition Ranch things.
Well, yeah,
it's
not an expedition if you don't end up doing it.
I was not expecting to be working on shit like this today.
Never, yeah.
But this is honestly
a crusher crew, literally.
Is that what you guys call yourself, Crusher Crews?
I don't know. That's what this machine is called. It's called the Crusher. But yeah, we're the little monkeys.
What's up? I'm James.
How's it going, James?
Pretty good. I got pulled off the road, put to work. I have a 7.3 truck that had a fuel filter oil, or the, geez, what do you call it, the O-ring on the oil or on the fuel filter.
So you hitched a ride here?
Yeah, it looked like this place had fuel when I got put to work.
Oh yeah, I guess there is.
No 1-inch socket. That's pretty much all I need to fix that thing.
But if it blew the O-ring out, you're gonna need the O-ring.
The O-ring looks good.
Not O-ring?
If I can, ideally, I would keep
Like
it.
it quit moving? Like it doesn't move anymore?
No, it moves, but I smelled diesel, and I looked behind me and there was a trail going down the highway. It's shooting a jet.
I need a supervisor over here, Jeff. Go back. Yeah, go back.
Well, I heard that you're the one that's supposed to take me back to the truck.
I'll take you whenever you want, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might see if I can. Just at least get this done, so I at least finish what I started here.
I don't know, because I'm wondering too. You know, this is the same cone. If it's wedged on there, like if it's
Oh, like it's been pressed in.
Yeah, it's it's pressed tight on there, so I don't know that it's gonna slide. Is what my concern is, but it slid over here, which
Well,
I don't know how.
But I mean, what you're saying is though is that it's pressed onto the cone so
Yeah.
hard that it's like a
It's
like a hydraulic fit.
Yeah. So that's my little concern.
Man, this whole thing shifted over, and so we couldn't back these bolts out. Now we're trying to pry it so that we can.
Because we pulled that on the other side. I'm not in a good spot to have any.
Oh, my leg was the only thing that saved me from going over on that one. I think you guys need a wedge and a sledgehammer.
Yeah, and just spread it.
Yeah, if
I
you can
can't
find
get
some
nothing.
type of wedge.
I can't get into it all, but to do anything useful.
Yeah, I don't think prying's gonna do it. I feel like the blunt force of the
hammering it.
Yeah. It's moving the bearing, looks like.
Is it pushing the bearing back?
Well, whatever houses the bearing right there seems to be moving that. Nothing.
I feel like that moved a little.
Those bolts are still backed out against the bearing.
And just being positive.
Dude, you got so much sand all over your
As
face.
soon as I started pounding, it's just coming everywhere.
I'll grab the PB blaster.
Good.
Sometimes when I get like this and you're just sitting there pounding on it, take a break, have some water,
No.
and think about it. Because there's gotta be another
that
way.
It's this is the first stage, and it breaks it up, and then it sends it into this stage, and then by the time it goes down there, it's half inch.
So we need to pull that up with the
Yeah,
crane?
this is the one of the bars that whips all the rock come in right there, comes down in, and these bars throw it against this, and
Okay.
it smashes them apart.
But we need to, are we taking this whole thing up?
Yeah, with the crane, we're gonna hook this up, and then we're gonna set it on the deck on that back of that truck.
Okay.
If you could help him flip it around.
What do you mean by help him flip it around?
We're gonna see how this side's worn out.
No.
See how this is longer?
Oh, yeah.
From this distance to this distance is shorter from here to here.
Yep.
So we're gonna take that long piece and stick it up so it sticks up about this high. Because these things are made to wear down.
Okay.
Yeah, these are
Well, just let me know where you need me.
Cool, man. Hold on for a minute.
Yeah. Just lift that side. There you go.
All right, tell him to go ahead, go up.
You're good. So after about 2 hours of working with these guys, it became apparent to me that this drive motor pulley thing was not going to be solved today. By looking at it, they were going to need to pull the electric motor off and remove the bearing. I was driving a straight shot from Billings, Montana to basically Sacramento, California, without any stops, and I needed to get back on the road before I used up too much energy. So we got the 1-inch socket and checked their 7.3 truck to find out the right size for the cover bolts. Then it was time to say goodbye and fix my truck.
If you need some fuel, I got fuel too. So.
Yeah, hopefully I didn't drop that much fuel, but yeah, if I see you guys again, then it's more shit. Best of luck with the grader. All right. Well, dude, I appreciate it.
Hey, you bet. You
And
get
then
it,
it's
you get it rolling, head out.
I mean, if I feel comfortable with it, yeah.
Okay. Well, if not, just
Yeah.
come here. We got room here and we got food.
Cool. I might do that if I'm skeptical on it, but it looks like the fuel bowl, it just looks like it pushed out slightly.
Okay.
And I don't know why it overpressurized. Like that's
Which is
what's
a little concerning.
it is. And like honestly,
Might have
like
to-
I want to have a 1-inch socket with me if I continue on the road.
Yeah,
So that's I might have to buy this from them.
Sure, he wouldn't mind. You see our tool set. We got plenty.
Okay.
Well, Red, damn nice to meet you. Good luck.
Yeah. All right, there's my short mining career. These guys are so nice out here. There she is.
Oh yeah. Like a sore thumb out there.
Yep. There she is.
Got her done.
F-550 with the ZF6. So take a look right there. Get your eye in there. You'll see it. Yeah, so this gasket right here pushed out very slightly. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, and I don't know what the deal is on that. I lubed it before I tightened it and all that. And it's not my first fuel filter. So if I just take this off and get the fuel cap off, I think that gasket's okay, but you know, I'll probably want to go grab another one and keep a socket on me.
That thing fucking just...
It just blew out the side. And what scares me more is why did it blow out the side?
Right.
Like what was pressurizing it that much?
Yeah, I see it pushed out.
Yeah.
I don't know. If someone needs something, they're gonna buy it.
Yeah. I mean, the overall things seem to be still chugging along with the economy. I just don't think the faith is there for most people.
There's definitely not faith. Closer we get to this election, I think there's more people willing to invest, do projects. We've seen it.
So I just came from, well, I was up in Billings and Bozeman and Big Sky and all that.
Yeah.
Just, it's a huge boom town. They got so much going on there.
Yeah, my niece, I was just up in Bozeman 3.5 weeks ago. Picking up a belt for that crusher.
All right. See her right there?
Oh yeah, I see it pushed
That's,
out.
yep, and just completely pushed out. That had to be a lot of pressure to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I tightened it pretty good. So I don't really understand what happened there.
I don't know, it'd probably be alright though.
That's why I'm saying if it pushes out again, I know I can just come in here and do this.
Right. After a quarter tank of fuel.
I don't know how much I lost.
Fuck, it's got a pretty good stream, but
Oh yeah, that thing shot out of there. I really smelt fuel and I was like, I need to pull over.
you changed that out recently then, huh?
Before I got on the road, I changed all the fluids in this truck besides the gear oil and put a new fuel filter in here because it's been sitting for so long.
Yeah.
It literally just jumped the lip.
Yeah, isn't that fucking crazy? Because it looks good. I don't see nothing.
Wait,
No distortion.
holy look at this. There's 2 gaskets on here. I didn't lift my old gasket. Oh my god. That's totally my fault.
Edit that out, dude. Change your story. That'll do it.
That's my fault. Wow. Okay.
It's good news.
That is good news.
Because you know the other one will seat now. Well, unless you just have the worst luck in the world.
Yeah, seriously.
People-
Nothing, right?
There ain't shit. Just the glisten of the old stuff. The old squirts.
Well, hopefully all that diesel will kind of fall out of the valley there, so it's not
Yeah, fuck it, it'll be fine.
running around. At least it's not like gasoline where it's just gonna catch fire. Well, I think that'll do it.
I'm pretty sure, dude. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna have a problem with it again.
I can't believe I had an extra O-ring in there. I just didn't see it. I'm a stupid mother.
Oh, I've done fucking worse shit than that.
I mean, you know, it happens. I was hanging out with a bunch of guys too, so I was kind of distracted and all
You
that.
had a few beers in you.
No beers in me. Okay, well, I think the 550 is ready to go again. Thank you so much. Catch you later.
Take it easy, James.
All right, we are back on the road. You know, that was almost a really bad situation, but I had so much fun today. That's like, I feel like that's like what adventure really is. You know, you just never know when stuff is gonna come up. You never know when you're gonna break down in the middle of nowhere in Nevada and end up working on a mine in exchange for a 1-inch socket.